So you're wanting to try a speed feed, the best trimmer head ever made, but you're not sure if it's going to fit on your trimmer? Don't worry, I got you. Today we're going over everything you need to know. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. Now, years ago, I made a video on the speed feed heads, the best trimmer head ever made. And since then, that video has gotten over 1.5 million views. And along with that, thousands of comments asking, will it fit my trimmer? So today I'm going over what it will fit, what it won't fit, and how you can tell the difference. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I will reply to all the early commenters. Now, just a quick recap for those of you who might have no idea what a speed feed head is and why I love it so much. Other than how durable it is the fastest, most easiest to load head there is, period. When you run out of string, it shoots out the last couple inches. You'll look down here on the head. You've got a little arrow here on the back base, but you also have a little arrow bump right here. You're going to grab the back part and twist the entire head until you line up that arrow with the eyelet. You'll be able to see all the way through the head. You can pull out like up to 16 feet. It says a little bit more than that, but I don't push it. Just slide your line on through. Make sure it's hanging out even on both sides. And the way I like to do it, I hold on to the back base and I'm turning with my hand like this. I never move my hand from the actual head itself. I'm grabbing, pulling, grabbing, pulling. Grab, pull. You're ready to go in like 20 seconds. Now, you think it's pretty cool, you're pretty excited, you want to get one for your trimmer, but you're not sure if it's going to fit. Well, first off, if you have a Echo trimmer, it doesn't matter if it's a straight shaft, a curved shaft, any of them. They all come with a speed feed head already on them. But if you have any other brand, you have to buy the universal speed feed head with the attachments, which the kit includes the arbor pieces and a spacer. Now, you'll find ones with the kit with the universal adapters, and you'll also find the heads by themselves. And usually when I see these go on sale, I leave you links to both of them, because if it's your first time buying it, you might want to get the universal kit. But if you've already bought the universal kit once, you only need to replace your head because you already have the other pieces. Also, you might find that sometimes I link the head and it'll be an Echo universal speed feed head, or it'll be a Shindaiwa universal speed feed head. And I get a lot of questions about that. But as you can see here, Echo and Shindaiwa, they're owned by the same company. So the speed feed head, no matter if it says Echo or Shindaiwa, is the exact same thing. Now, here's what you're going to look for to see if the speed feed is going to fit on your trimmer. Now, I already showed in my last video how to remove multiple different heads from multiple different units. If you want to check that out, I will leave it in the description box below. But what you're looking for is a flat base on your gear head, because the backs of these are flat. Now, if you have a Husqvarna head, Husqvarna, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be a little different. Now, although we have a flat base here, the Husqvarnas have a little lip on theirs. Same way on a steel. As you can see here, I've got a Husqvarna and a steel head, and they both have indentions in the back of them where that blade raised section goes. So that's why they're a little different. Now, that little lip right there, that's for your blade to be centered on if you're wanting to use a brush blade. The reason that Echo does not have that little lip on theirs is because you have to change out this back piece if you're going to put a blade on your machine with one that has a lip. Now, if you have a Husqvarna or a steel and it's got that little lip for the blade there, the universal kit comes with this adapter that has a sunken inset side on it that fits perfectly on top of that And on a Husqvarna, you don't even have to change anything else out. The adapter that comes inside of it already screws right on. Just like that. So, spacer. If you see a raised section on your gear head for a blade, you have to use the spacer. Now on a steel, you have to use a spacer because of that lip, but you also have to change out the guts inside the head because the threads are different. Now, if you take your head off, you see that it's flat or it has that raised section where you might have to use the spacer and your threads are sticking out about 3/4 of an inch, you can try to put the speed feed head on. If it does not immediately screw on, and it's backwards threads on a lot of them, righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. If it doesn't fit, you might have to change out the guts inside. I showed you how to do that in my last speed feed video. But a lot of trimmers, it'll just screw right on. Now we know when to use a spacer. We know when we need to change out our arbor, but what are these for? Let me show you. On some brands of trimmers, like the Shindawa here, and excuse my extremely messy head. This is one of my personal trimmers that, yeah, I need to get all the gook off. Whenever you take it off, you'll see it's still got the thread sticking out here, but these are one of the kit pieces. I can unscrew it right there. That's that one right there. So you might have a base that has female threads. That's why it comes with 3 different sizes that fits most everything. 1/2 of this screws right into the head. And then you just screw it into your trimmer. Lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. Now, Echo does have a list on their corporate website that's pretty comprehensive of a lot of older units that the speed feed fits on. But it obviously hasn't been updated in a while because it doesn't even include any of the newer Echo trimmers, like the SRM 225 or the SRM 2620. But I'll leave a link to it in the description box below if you want to take a look. Now, what will the speed feed 100% not fit? Well, guys, unfortunately, the steel curve shaft trimmer that many of you have, it won't fit. Let me show you why. The way that these heads are made, they've got a direct drive shaft. So the entire head comes off like that. And so once you've removed the head, you've got this huge shaft here that's connected pretty much to the drive shaft. So that 3/4 of an inch that you need to screw the speed feed head on, this thing would be hanging way out here, but it doesn't matter. There's not an adapter to make it work at all. Now, if you have any kind of small Craftsman trimmer, the Boland's trimmer, some of the Troy-Bilt trimmers, they have pretty much the same design on their head. There's a bump knob that you have to remove. These are that you can't get the whole head off because they're held on with a clip. But even if you did, it's got that long shaft sticking out. You'll never be able to put a speed feed head on it. Now, the other biggest question I get is, will the speed feed fit on a battery operated trimmer? And this is sort of a touchy subject. Even when I spoke with Echo about it, they were sort of hesitant to recommend it on any battery operated equipment because it might drag down the battery power or put strain on the drive shaft. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. Now, although the speed feed is primarily designed for gas powered trimmers, users have successfully adapted it to battery powered models. But without me going to the store and trying it on all these different trimmers, or buying them and using them and making sure they're going to work, I personally can't 100% stand behind it. But there are a bunch of reviews from people who say it works fine. Users have reported on the Greenworks 80 volt that it fits right out of the box, no adapter needed. On the 40 volt models, some fit with adapters depending on the thread size. I've heard a lot of people say that it works on the DeWalt. They said the 20 volt max lithium ion brushless fits with minor modification or it directly screws on, and the 60 volt, it's possible with an adapter. It says the Makitas, the Ryobis, you might have to alter it a little bit or use an adapter, but there's many reports that it works just fine. I don't know. Your main concern is going to be removing your head and seeing what that base looks like. If you got a shaft sticking out that far, it's definitely not going to work. So guys, thanks again for tuning into Chickanic. Hopefully this video will save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. And if you are shopping for a Speed Feed 400 or 500 head, I will leave links in the description box below. And the Speed Feed 400 is on sale for $5 off right now. For the universal kit, if you need just the head by itself, I'll get you the cheapest price on that too. Ooh, and before I forget, I do want to give you a reminder because I know you probably did not remember. If you have a greasable gear head on your string trimmer, do not forget to lube it this season, guys. Now, I use the Red Armor, but this stuff is ridiculously expensive. I will leave it and some more affordable gear lube in the description box below. And if you ain't tired of me yet, you want to see a video from 4 years ago I made about the Speed Feed heads when I was just getting into the whole YouTube game. Excuse, my filming back then and the chirping of katydids. Check this video out right here.